Marvin. No, not Marvin.
Dale Earnhardt?
No, Dale Jarrett. Dale Earnhardt was 8. Well, Dale Earnhardt was 3. Dale Earnhardt Jr. was 8.
Who the fuck is
Well,
Dale
actually,
Jarrett?
no, because Dale Jr. ended up going back to 88 when he left.
Bud?
When he left, but what? Like that race team, Earnhardt Racing, yeah. When he went to Hendricks Motorsports. So, yeah. Dale Jr. Episode.
Praise Dale, praise Dale.
Yeah. Number 3, R.I.P.
Is it bad that if you have a southern accent, I assume you're racist?
I got ice in my veins. Walk like a champion, champion, champion. I'm so cold-blooded, I fear nobody. Ain't no letting down, I won't let you down. 'Cause I got ice in my veins. I talk like a champion, like a champion. I'm so cold-blooded, I'm so cold-blooded. I fear nobody, I fear nobody. I walk like a champion.
Yo, JT. Nets check-in. What's the word, bro? Let me know. How them niggas looking out east, man?
Out east, the Nets are looking all right. I'm not worried. Like I know people are making a big deal about this whole like losing to the Bucks. And I look, Sunday was I don't know if you guys watched the game Sunday. That was a phenomenal game.
It was.
Like if that's what the playoff series is going to be like, I'll take that 100%.
Yep.
Tuesday, I mean the Nets lost that game. I think the Nets should have won it. I think Nash screwed up the lineups down the stretch, and they just didn't capitalize. Them going with the lineup of Kyrie, Mike James, and Bruce Brown, all 3 guys under the height of 6'3", was really, really shocking. And of course, Milwaukee goes on a 12-2 run, and that's the game right there. But no, niggas is making a big deal out of nothing, and Harden's not even there. So like the Bucks won on Sunday by 3, they won on Tuesday by 6. All right, that's great. James Harden accounts for how many points a game? How many different rebounds, how many assists.
This is
and our role players have definitely, like Joe Harris has definitely struggled a little bit without James Harden.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I was about to say Joe Harris is not.
Yeah. And it's not to say that he's struggling. I mean, he still went 4 for 8 on threes, which is 50% the other night. But
yeah, but it's like, it's just a lack of like you can see it on the floor if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, if you
can.
Yeah.
I mean, Harden, I mean, he's one of the best players in the NBA for a reason. It's hard to, it's a big hole to fill.
Yep.
That's why I don't understand like when like what do you call it, like dudes like Nick Wright are talking about, oh yeah, Harden doesn't really change anything, fix their rebounding or whatever. I'm like, no, he kind of does, because with Harden in the rotation, that means somebody else is being taken out.
Yep.
Or it's less minutes for somebody.
Sorry,
Harden is a very, very good. I think Harden's an underrated rebounding guard as it is. I mean, a lot of rebounds are not really contested anymore for guards. You just kind of get it like when nobody's around the basket, but still.
He's a big fucking guard to begin with.
Yep.
Exactly. He's a big guard. You know, instead of having a lot of Mike James minutes, you're going to have James Harden out there. Instead of having both Katie and Kyrie off the floor, which is what Nash did, which I don't know why, you can have James Harden still on the floor to handle your offense. So I'm still feeling good. That's will be all right. If they get if I think the 1 seed is out of reach now, I mean, they're still there within a game and a half, but I don't think it's important. I think I like the Nets' chances at home or on the road. Against either Philly or Milwaukee.
Yep.
Whatever. It's just a matter of who's going to be that 7th seed, I guess.
Oh yeah.
That we play.
At least from what I know, it's not going to be us.
Definitely not going to be y'all.
Definitely not.
Hottest team in the NBA.
Woof. We
playing the Nuggets tonight, right?
Yeah, playing the Nuggets right now. It's crazy because like I'm thinking about it like, wow. Y'all knew what my expectations were going into the season, son.
All I'm saying is this is the second year in a row I had higher expectation for the Knicks than you did.
Yeah, and that's fine, because honestly, like, yo, there's no disappointment. The Knicks, like literally, like they can get swept in the first round and I'd be okay, because literally all I wanted was for RJ to get better.
Everything is cherries at this point.
Yep, exactly. This is all just even the fact that like we clinched the playoff spot. Like I am more happy and ecstatic as ever. You know what I'm saying? Julius Randle, Eastern Conference Player of the Month. I'll take it, bro. Like, what?
First one in 7 years.
What? Julius Randle?
I mean,
like
an all-star. He's a bona fide all-star.
Like literally, he's gonna make an all NBA team, bro. And deservedly so. He's going to make an all NBA team.
There's 3 all NBA teams.
He's gonna make one. Realistically. Which one? I mean, you can make a case for the second, but he's definitely at least going to be the third. At least.
Yeah, I mean, it was Jokic is gonna be first. I'm thinking all the front court players.
All the front court players. It's gonna be
LeBron,
Jokic.
Jokic. Anthony Davis hasn't played enough games.
Is
I don't feel
LeBron
like.
really gonna be? I mean, I guess. All right, I don't know. Depending on
Embiid,
Embiid, Giannis. All right, that's first.
Kawhi.
Kawhi.
I still think they still list Paul George as a guard.
I guess. I don't know.
I don't know if they list him as a guard or a forward anymore. Probably want him. Luke is listed as a guard now.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, he was a guard for All NBA last year.
So then okay.
So he's not in it. I'm trying to think. KD. Does KD play enough games?
KD is not
to make
played.
All NBA.
No.
Nah.
Go from
Rudy
go
Gobert's
go
probably gonna make an All NBA.
go from each team top 4 seeds.
Rudy Gobert is probably gonna make an All NBA.
I've heard 4 names, and I will put Julius Randle probably at that.
No,
fifth
I
position.
feel solid, and I feel that's At first,
It
the
sounds
first time you say it, and then you go, you know what?
you actually go through it, and it's just like and I mean niggas just gotta do what they gotta do in the playoffs, bro, and that's it. Like we're blessed enough to have the 4 seed. Like Tibbs has been great. Derrick Rose has been amazing. I think him coming off the bench is probably the most underrated part about all that. But that's really all I gotta say. Like we literally the hottest team in the league right now. Won 11 of the last 12. Hopefully we win against some of these teams in this West Coast stretch that we have. And you know what? It is what it is. I have no complaints right now.
Is there any team that you would rather not see if you are the 4 seed in that 4-5 matchup?
I think the Hawks is probably we've been really competitive with them. I think that's who we're probably
are gonna see.
That's probably who we are gonna see, to be honest. But it's not that I don't think we can beat the Hawks. It's more just it's really the battle of which superstar, or not superstar, but which star on whose team is really gonna pull up more. Is it gonna be Julius that hoop more? Or is it gonna be Trae Young? And then it's gonna be who's coaching better. Is it gonna be Nate McMillan, who we've seen flop in the playoffs a little bit, versus Tibbs?
So I'm looking at the standings right now. Right, Atlanta's in 5.
Yep.
Tied. Behind them, a game behind them is both Boston and Miami.
Would not want to see Miami.
That's literally what I was gonna say. I feel the only team is, and it's just because of Bam, because Bam will match up with Julius.
Would not want to see
That's
Miami.
the only team I feel like boss Jason Tatum is gonna do Jason Tatum things regardless, but I just feel like they'll be able. That's a team you guys might match up better with. But
would not want to see Miami.
Yeah.
Would rather see Boston. Of the 3 teams, I'd rather see Boston. I'd rather see Boston because right now it just seems like they just don't have it figured out. More than anybody.
I feel confident in Tibbs out coaching Brad Stevens as well.
I would agree. What you call it? Miami makes it to the 5 seed. Watch out. Wouldn't want to see that. But yeah, everybody else I'm fairly comfortable with.
Speaking of kind of overrated coaches, I don't know about overrated, but one of the headlines I saw the other day was coaches that may be on the hot seat this offseason.
Tough.
And that includes Terry Stotts of the Portland Trailblazers and also possibly one Mike Budenholzer. Terry Stotts is no stranger to this. I think the run that the Blazers had 2 years ago was the only reason he still has a job now. And I feel like if you're the Blazers at this point, one, the organization has made a commitment to Dame and we're going to try and get players that Dame wants. Aaron Gordon was one of them. Sorry. Whoa, I'm smacked. Aaron Gordon, they wanted to get Aaron Gordon.
Right.
That was one that they wanted to get. He asked for. They couldn't. That could be something. And is Terry Stotts is a different coach the missing piece for them? The headline that I saw was Jason Kidd is a possible replacement. I don't really know how I feel about that. Because I don't know about Jason Kidd as a head coach after Milwaukee. And I remember reading an article about it where he was talking about he learned from that situation where he was trying to be way too old school and butting heads with all his players and shit like that. But we do know Giannis really liked Jason Kidd in Milwaukee. So could he have learned? There's a lot of things going into that. But also, if you're the Blazers and you fire Terry Stotts, where do you go? Because at that point, it's hard to put a young, unproven coach in a situation like that, whereas this is a team who needs a final piece, right? Where do you go?
I don't know. It's just got to kind of... The Blazers are at the point where...
Alvin Gentry, he's a assistant somewhere. Where is he?
He's in Sacramento.
Yes,
Sacramento.
I was like, I saw him
Sacramento.
recently on the team that the Mavs just can't fucking beat Sacramento for whatever reason, which is one of the reasons why we're jockeying for 5th. But I mean, if the Blazers, even though most of the Blazers' issues have been injuries the past 2 years, that's the thing. That has nothing to do with the head coach, but
I think Budenholzer, more so than Stotts, I feel like not rightfully so, but it's going to be tough.
the thing I saw for Budenholzer is if they don't make the Eastern Conference Finals or the Finals.
And I think which is fair. That has to be a realistic expectation because there's no way that 2 years in a row you got the most valuable player of the league. And this year, definitely an MVP candidate in the second half of the season. I'll give him that. There's no way that team doesn't make it to the finals. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. Giannis got hurt, which is like, all right, that's understandable for last season. But at the same time, it's like, bro, Budenholzer has always been a really good coach. And then the playoffs come, and it's like, damn, like, all right, even with that Hawks team, it's like, damn, you got fucking four All-Stars, and you can't make it to the finals. And granted, you in the East, that was when LeBron was in the East. It was tough. But even now, it's like, damn, last year the expectation was at least finals. Year before that, the expectation was finals, and then they played Toronto and they folded. Now it's like, all right, the Nets is going to be the big barrier there. But if you listen to the Nets, I don't think anybody's going to be mad at you. But at the same time, it's like, at some point, you got to win the big one. Some point, you got to win the big one if you got all of this talent on the team. The reason why they were trying to trade for Bogdanovich was because they felt like they were in a position to win. The reason why they ended up trading for Jrue Holiday is because they felt like they were in a position to win. They're in a position to win.
Is Mike Budenholzer destined to be an offensive assistant?
No, I think he's still a solid coach. I think it's just going to be a similar situation with Dwayne Casey in Toronto.
Yeah.
Where you can only get to the semifinals
if you're in Toronto, you have the excuse if you had to see fucking LeBron every year. If you're Mike Budenholzer, what's the excuse now?
Well, that's the thing.
You could say the Nets, but like the Nets just happened.
That's the problem. It's like Dwayne Casey had the excuse of LeBron, and he still got canned. And then, they ended up getting Nick Nurse and getting what do you call it? Kawhi, but then LeBron was gone, right? Mm-hmm. So with the Bucks, who's been the big bad wolf in the East since LeBron left? Nobody. It's supposed to be the Bucks.
It's
and Giannis.
But it's been a mixed bag since LeBron.
It's been a mixed bag. All right. You had Kawhi for a year. Kawhi leaves. And then after that, what? Like this should be the league. This should be the conference that, or I should say Milwaukee should be the team that should be running the conference. Mm-hmm. But they're not. Like this year in particular, like why is it that the Bucks are not the 1 seed right now? Right? Like the Nets have every excuse to not be the 1 seed because of look how many injuries and time off between like Kyrie, KD, and Harden, right?
And these niggas are still and actual injuries.
And these niggas is still better than the Bucks.
Still better than the Bucks, right? The Sixers with only Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons and granted
Joel Embiid was hurt.
Great. And Joel Embiid was hurt for over a month and a half, and they still were the 1 seed. So
Brett Brown was ass. Brett Brown was a terrible head coach. He really was. And I think that's showing more now than ever. But, I just had to slide that in there real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was ass.
But, I mean...
It's also hard his job was kind of hard from like, just only go out there and lose for 4 years, and then like, all right, we need you to win now.
Yeah, they should have fired
I'm not saying like
they should have fired him when it was time.
Which sucks because like then it's like damn like he really set him up to fail.
Record is fucking exactly. I mean shit.
I think it's what was it like 10 games?
Hope for the best, my brother. But I mean, especially with Budenholzer, this is something that we talk about every year after the playoffs, where it's like, why does he not have that edge in the playoffs? Why does he not change his coaching strategy? Why is your star only playing 32 minutes in a playoff game?
Oh, see that's something I've said so much.
I mean, we've had that conversation on this podcast like how many times? Mm-hmm. So it's like, I feel like really like, the headline was about buying and selling rumors like that, and I feel like for Budenholzer more than Stotts, that's definitely a buy. Because I feel like Stotts, I don't know when his contract is up, but I feel like they give Stotts at least one more year to be like, all right, the team's healthy, and let's try and make some moves. But for Budenholzer, I mean, dude, like, what, they lost, didn't they lose to the baby Celtics 2 years ago? Or no?
2 years, all right, so 2 years ago was 2019, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that was the Raptors win.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right, so they lost to the Raptors in the conference. Then last year,
So
Conference
not
finals.
not 2 years ago, 3 years ago. You're talking about?
So 3 years ago.
3 years ago, who
they-
they lose to? Maybe Boston. Not sure.
I'm looking up.
Well, Braun was still in the East
Yeah.
with the Cavs in 18. Yeah, it had to be because LeBron played the Celtics in the conference finals.
Yep.
Because that was Tatum's rookie year.
Baby Celtics.
So they had to have lost to somebody.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Giannis also wasn't MVP yet. He was.
But he was
MVP.
still, I mean, he
was
got to that point.
MVP caliber. He was All-Star
Yes.
Giannis at that point. He wasn't.
Yeah.
Two-time MVP. You know. Yeah.
And then last year, granted, like they did lose, like Giannis got hurt, but at the same time, I'd still say the Bucks did have a better roster than the Heat.
True.
It was Baby Boston, by the way, and it was a
Baby
7-game
Boston?
series.
Yeah. What?
Second
shit.
round.
First round.
Ew.
But the Milwaukee was the 7th seed that year. Boston was the 2nd. So, all right. Is there anything else really for sports?
We got we got football, we got basketball. Baseball is just like,
We're just not losing as much, but
I mean, nice little, kind of figuring it out, hitting a little bit, but yeah.
So that's it for this week's episode, y'all. This is probably gonna be the last week with the later drop on the episodes. This one's coming out on Friday again. Whenever you guys are listening to this, the episodes will be back to Thursday next week. Make sure to follow us at SRSW Sports on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. I am posting more on TikTok, so go check that out. Easier to share. Like us on Facebook. Go follow us on our YouTube. Subscribe. Go like our videos. The videos are up. We put in a lot of work into this shit, guys. Go tell a friend. Go show that we're enjoying this shit, man. And yeah, you guys follow me on Twitter at @offendernormal, guys.
Peace to the people. Word to Charlemagne. Amen. Y'all do y'all thing. Y'all stay safe. Mask up. I'm vaccinated. I don't give a fuck about y'all no more. Just kidding.
Facts.
Black Lives Matter. As always.
Fizio Foreign over here.
Yeah, buddy.
Fizio Foreign.
Matt, are you going for your second shot or your first shot?
Second.
Hell yeah,
so we're
man.
about to be a fully vaccinated podcast soon.
Yeah, nigga. We lit. You know what I'm saying?
Progressive.
Big
Yeah.
facts.
Yeah. Gang in here.
He's not as far right as you think, guys.
Yes.
No, he still is. He's just he's trying to blend in. Espionage. He's a double agent.
Oh, God.
Oh boy. But yeah. As Miles said, Black Lives Matter. And nematodes are people too.
They don't want them following you anywhere? You wrote anything recently?
I got something coming out probably tomorrow
Nice.
that I'm actually I'm pretty proud of. So
Awesome. Look out for
I'll link
DT's
y'all.
article.
I'll link y'all tomorrow.
All right. We'll catch y'all next week.
I got ice in my veins. Walk like a champion. I'm so cold-blooded. I fear nobody. Ain't no letting down. I won't let you down. 'Cause I got ice in my veins.